Hey everyone, this is Sean. Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching the video right now, if you're watching this video, it's most likely because I strategically uploaded it and made it available to you at the time of viewing. Between now and Monday, August 14th, there won't be any videos. So it's just this video and that's it. Maybe Tuesday, I'll upload another video, Wednesday, but there's no videos in between. That way you could just concentrate on watching the video that you're watching right now. So we're gonna talk about a strategy to approach Assembly Bill 1244. We're gonna talk about a strategy on what we're gonna do, what we're gonna say, how we're gonna organize, okay? This is probably the 8th video that I made on Assembly Bill 1244. I'm going to just make my discussion on what it is super quick. Basically, like 80 to 90% of you, maybe, I want to say maybe 80% of you, to be on the safer side, will never be able to open a private patrol operator company. You'll never be able to open up a private security company in the state of California. You are not. Your children are not going to be able to own or operate your security company. Your relatives, nobody. What end up happening is you have the big, I don't know, the big 2 or 3 private security companies out there, Allied Universal being one, and this is just my honest opinion. It appears that they are trying to take over all of the security accounts. There's some questionable activity that I need to investigate a little bit further, but what we do know is that CalSAGA, okay, the California Association of Licensed Security Companies, something to that degree, they're behind this bill. They backed up Assembly Bill 1244. They gave the green light to Mr. Christopher Holden, a Democrat from the Pasadena area, to go ahead and author this bill. Okay, we could blame CalSAGA. They think that this is a wonderful idea in order to keep private security companies, owners in check, to keep the qualified managers in check, in order for qualified people to be running security companies. What this essentially does is it drives out competition. If you're chiming in from another state, if Assembly Bill 1244 passes, I just want to tell you this, that you have an Allied Universal Securitas company coming to a community towards you. Okay, they're going to be, in my opinion, they're going to be taking over a lot of the jobs, a lot of the accounts, if they get California. They have most of California, in my opinion, but this bill, and this is the messed up thing, is they're pushing this bill forward so that you cannot open up your security company. That's my theory. Okay, there's a lot of people that watch these videos that want AB 1244 to pass. That's fine, that's your opinion, but you're not complaining because you have your security company up and running. You'll see them in the comments. Once in a while, they'll post a comment, something to the effect of, hey, hopefully this passes. This is good for California. Well, once again, this eliminates competition to them. So that's why they're excited. The security companies that are already established right now are excited if Assembly Bill 1244 passes. But let me say this, there's a surprise for you. If you own a security company, you're gonna have to pay up to $90 a year. I'm sorry, $90 every other year in licensing fees. There is no licensing fee for a qualified manager right now. There's nothing at all, and in my opinion, they forgot to put a licensing fee. They forgot. It's not because they like you guys, but they forgot. If they do a licensing fee, okay, you as a security company owner, you're gonna most likely have to fork out an additional amount, anywhere between $300 to $400 to maybe $500 every single year if AB 1244 passes. If you are a registered security guard in the state of California, you're going to need to pay an additional about $24 every other year if you have all of the licenses. Okay, if you are an in-house security officer, okay, you only work for one employer, you're not going to be able to open a security company because this law is designed to not allow you to open a security company, okay? If you are former military veteran, you want to use your military experience, unless you're an officer in the military, you're not going to get a chance. Again, this pertains to like 80% of you guys. If you're former law enforcement, maybe you're chief of police, a sergeant, and you have managerial skills and abilities, that experience excludes you. CalSAG did this strategically, in my honest opinion. They designed these laws so that, they designed this bill so that they're going to have less competition out there, okay? They already have their qualified managers. They have everything already up and running. This is going to reduce competition. This is not good for California. Vote no. So what is the game plan? So I already wrote my opposition letter. It's like 6-pager. That should be on file. They should be reading that out loud during the Senate committee meeting. Okay, not guaranteed, but it should be on their desk. There's a couple of other people that wrote letters, and they should read them out loud. Now, I think, according to David from the Security Guard Command, who's actually spearheading this this opposition in person, he explained that putting something in writing is done. You can't do that anymore. So the next step is this. Listen carefully. The next step is a teleconference method. So what I need you to do is go to the description box, click on all the links that I provide to you, and on August 14th in the morning at 10 o'clock a.m., a little bit before that, log into this teleconference website. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Call the number. Okay, there's gonna be a number available. You're gonna have to put in the secret code or the access code that's provided after you link up in the website, and then you're gonna be placed on a waiting list. So it could be an hour, it could be 20 minutes. When it's your turn, I think you press 0 or 1 or something like that, and then you get to say what you want to say. If you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, just say these words. My name is so and so. I've been in the private security profession for this long. I oppose Assembly Bill 1244. If you don't know what to say at all, just say that. Okay? And just say thank you very much for your time. Now, if you want to have a little bit of a strategy, mention who you are, how long you've been in the security business, and what's at stake. Touch them in the heart. What is going to happen if Assembly Bill 1244 passes? Let them know that you're not going to get a chance to open your security company ever again. You're not going to get to realize the American dream. Okay? Touch them in the heart, so to speak. You have to let them know. Now, because this is a Senate Appropriations Committee meeting, the whole purpose of the Senate Appropriations Committee is to figure out whether or not there is a negative or a positive impact to the state of California if Assembly Bill 1244 passes. So if you still have some time left, you want to try to explain what's the fiscal impact. So you might want to explain, if the fees go up, I'm going to have to shut down my security company if you're operating already, or you're going to most likely have to shut down, or you're not going to renew your firearm permit, your baton permit, or any of your permits. Okay, you're going to have to go looking for another job. Let them know that there's over like 300,000 registered security officers. When security officers cannot pay for these fees, and by the way, it's not going to go up like right away, the fees. BSIS has discretion to raise the fees. That'd be more accurate statement. But when they have discretion, they end up just racking up the fees. So explain that you're going to be out of work. You're going to look for something different, and it's going to cause the state of California, BSIS, to have a budget deficit. Okay. You also want to explain that this bill, if passed, this is an experimental bill, and you want to explain that BSIS isn't even sure what the fiscal impact is, and you want to explain that previously, okay, bills that they pushed forward were not successful and they end up being in the red. So, for example, for the psychological exam that BSIS required for firearm permit holders, there was a lot of appeals. Okay, there's a lot of appeals because in the beginning you would go through your firearm permit course, and when your firearm permit course was finished, you would invest in all these fees, and then later on, towards the end, you take a psychological exam because you invested emotionally and physically in all of these fees. You have a lot of because of the time that you spend in class and the fees you spent, there's a lot of emotional investment. Applicants were most likely to appeal. So BSIS was nearly working in the red because they had to front up fees for the Attorney General to fight all of the appeals that the fire permit holders had. So you want to explain something like that, okay? Again, and explain to them that this is something experimental. There's going to be less security companies that are going to be able to apply for PPO licensing. Because of that, there's going to be less revenue for BSIS for enforcement efforts, and more importantly, educational efforts, because there's less. Once again, keep mentioning to them, there's going to be less revenue, okay? You believe that about maybe 80%, okay, of those applying for a license won't even apply anymore because of the strict requirements. Because remember, you need 2 years of administrative or managerial experience under the license of under a PPO license holder, okay? And for a lot of companies, okay, they don't have a lot of management or administrative opportunities. Sometimes it's just the owner who's also the manager, and then the field officers or the officers on post. That's it. So a lot of companies are going to be, they're not going to be able to apply, okay? If you're chiming in from another state, you can call too. You can mention, hey, you know what? This is a plot that you believe that Allied Universal has against the security industry, and then explain your reasons, explain how it can affect you. That's also beneficial if you're from out of state, okay? But the state needs to hear this, guys. I want to say that this is their last stance, okay? If this passes the Senate Appropriations Committee, the next step, I think it is for the bill to be placed on the floor, okay? The House of Representatives to go for a vote. I think it's almost too late. I mean, we'll fight every stance, but we need to get them good at the Senate Appropriations Committee meeting. David from the Security Command is going there in person. Okay, he's going to the state of Washington. I'm sorry, going to the state capitol in person in Sacramento. So if you are located in Sacramento or in the area, I advise you to drive over there and go there in person and face these people in person, okay? I can assure you that Cal Saga is going to probably be there, and a whole lot of other people, okay? This is your chance to air your grievances in person. So David is leading that in person. He's going to have a rally point. We're going to meet up, and then you're going to go there in person. So if you're wondering who David is, David has an awesome YouTube channel called The Security Guard Command. I'll leave links in the description once I have some time. But what I want you to do right now at this minute is email David at David, D-A-V-I-D, at Security Guard Command. That's David at Security Guard Command. And once I have time, I'll leave his email address somewhere in the description box, okay? So that's all I have, guys. Recap, okay, Monday, 10 o'clock, call in before, like 9:45 in the morning. This is regarding Assembly Bill 1244. Call to oppose, explain your reasoning. If you cannot call or you don't want to call and you're able to show up in person, maybe even drive from Southern California, do it, okay? You absolutely have to do it. If you are a security officer and you're wondering how this affects you, well, Allied, if not already, they're going to be taking over a lot of accounts if Assembly Bill 1244 passes. If you work in an in-house account, if you work for like a great hospital, you might be making $30 an hour, $28 an hour, maybe more, maybe $25 an hour. Once Allied takes over all these accounts, you're not going to be making the same amount. Okay, you're going to be pushed down to maybe $19 an hour, $20, maybe minimum wage, maybe whatever the livable wage in the area is. Okay, don't let this happen. Cal Saga is strategic about this. Securitas, Allied Universal, they're being strategic about this. Okay, they're not being too vocal, but they're pushing Cal Saga with a lot of the lobbying efforts, a lot of money they're pushing into Cal Saga, and they're having Cal Saga push this bill. And I want you to mention this, that Cal Saga does not represent the private security community, especially in California. They do not. They represent the larger private security companies out there. that's my thoughts. That's my opinions. Looking forward to dialogue. But most of all, I'm looking forward to you being there. Take care, guys.